Thanks to being on TikTok, my feed is constantly presented with aliens or astrophysical or space information and videos. I don't know how that happened. Maybe I just watched too many, so I keep on getting so many mind. But the alien videos, with aliens, government corrupts, it has me a bit bothered because haven't for 1 second thought, what if aliens are aliens are trying to deceive me so I can not who they present themselves to be? What if it's all a lie? But you have all these people saying they saw aliens, aliens told them these things. Where is the proof that these things really exist? And you have some people who say, due to some ancient tablets, humans were genetically modified. Yes, these things can be written on the tablets, but how do we know they're true? Because something is written doesn't mean something is true. And because something is a million years old, it could be a million years old mistruth or a million year old lie. So how do you know it's true? But you have these people saying these things as if they have all the evidence in the world that these things are true, were genetically modified. I think it just borders on human naivety or human being or simple, the human sim factor. Human beings are so simple that they don't even bother wondering if one of the first things of an advanced mind is thinking on different levels, thinking of what if this is true, what if the same thing is a lie. You always have to question your beliefs, and you always have to weigh your beliefs with normal, practical, common sense human experiences. Like if you believe in God, you have to bring up your beliefs. So does this work in the natural? Does this work according to the known laws of man? So you don't get bamboozled by any teaching or any new doctrine. So I find the whole alien thing very strange. And we've always lived in a world of the unseen. It took the microscope for us to see that look, there are a million and one things out there that we can't even see. Yes, there are a lot of things we can't see. There are paranormal activity that happens on a daily basis which we can't see, and we don't need to see them before they exist because they exist, and we simply like the microscope we couldn't see them. So the microscope enabled us to see, and it's until we develop other microscope, those other realms of human life will remain unseen. Now, bringing that in for what I'm saying is that aliens are not the only strange paranormal activity that exists. There are stories of beings of beings appearing to people, telling them religious messages, some deceiving people, some altering the course of standard religion, some taking religion to new places, which even those religions warn against. So you have these things of people, religious figures appearing and teaching contrary things to what has been established by other religious teachers. So all these things are true. When you have haunted houses, you have the realm of demons, you have the ranges of angels. These are different realms. So you don't just carry the alien thing on your head and make it seem as if aliens are the only things that exist. There are so many different paranormal activities that exist, and it's an understanding that there's so much paranormal activity that exists that makes us see it from a broader picture. We're not alone. We've never been alone. That microscopes show us that we're not alone. There's so much life even on the head of a needle. Even on the head of a needle, there's so much life. So with that in mind, we need to just keep calm and not blow this alien thing out of proportion. Like how some ufologists have blown it out of proportion. Aliens said this. How do we know if these aliens are not lying? How do we know if it's another being pretending to be an alien? How do we know if it's just disinformation to change the way human beings think to the benefit of these beings? How do we know these beings are not trying to steal our minerals or basically just deform the human mind or warp the human mind with lies? These beings exist definitely, but verifying what their tales are is what these ufologists need to do before presenting it to the world. Or people who are told aliens are not. There's a lot of story igniting that alien activity increased on Earth during World War II. But if you look at those stories, yes, the aliens, there were spacecraft in. We're told there were spacecraft in the sky during World War II. Germans didn't know who they were. Germans thought they were British. British thought they were Germans, or vice versa. Now you look at it. Why were those alien planes in the sky? What part did they play in bringing about peace? We're told these aliens are trying to bring about peace, but you can't just bring about peace by being a bystander or by being a spectator. What move did these aliens make in World War II to bring about peace? They didn't make a single move. Whose side were they on? They were nobody's side. They were neutral. So basically, if the Germans had won World War II and enslaved the whole world, aliens would have looked on. They would have looked on. So how does that tell you they really care about mankind? They're just onlookers. They don't really care. So you have fast forward to now. They tell us when we explode nuclear bombs, it sends out electromagnetic waves which distorts communications for passing aliens. Fine, that might be true. But if aliens, if electromagnetic waves were really a threat, these aliens would have done more to probably disarm Earth of all its bombs. Like for example, if these aliens are really more advanced as they claim, you would have a situation where they would try to disarm us of our nuclear weapons. Like if you had two dogs are constantly fighting. If you wanted peace in your household and you really love your dogs, you would put the dogs on both sides of the house so they don't get involved in fisticuffs. That's not somebody who really wants peace. Somebody who wants peace acts and brings about peace. You can't say you want peace and be an onlooker. That's not somebody who wants peace. That's somebody who's enjoying the view. Enjoying the view. So, you have people saying the aliens are trying to bring peace. They don't want us to destroy ourselves. And you have, if you look back in history, you find out even during the Roman Empire days, when the Romans went to war, there were UAPs, UFOs in the sky flying above as the aliens, as the Romans went to war in some certain wars. So this thing is nothing new. And some people say this has happened when human beings are in stressful or during wartime environments. So is it that we create these things, or these things come out to probably help us reinforce our beliefs or make us feel good that some deity or some big brother is watching over us? But if any deity is watching over us and is not fighting on our part, we can't really we have to question what this deity's motives are. Is it to keep us thinking or keep us with our energy levels on the deity? Because if you're going to say during World War II you cared about us and you were watching over us, you're watching over us, but what did you do to stop World War II? Nothing, absolutely nothing. So we can basically disregard your being there because your being there did not stop World War II. Your being in the sky, aliens been in the sky, UFOs been in the sky, had nothing to do with the outcome of World War II. So then another part of the thing that gets me bothered is how people try and glorify these aliens. They are more advanced than us. Well, they might have ships that we can't build yet or who can maneuver like how we can't do, but I think it goes back to when the Europeans enslaved the Africans with superior guns. They had larger ships that were superior. They had larger ships that the Africans could not build. But were they better human beings? No, they no, they were not. They just exercised more thinking in building guns, exercised more thinking in building ships. So it was the same human beings, but one had exercised more energy on his navy, and one had exercised more energy in creating guns. That was the only difference when the Europeans and the Africans met during the slave trade era. One had put more emphasis on navy, and one had put more. So if I look at it like that, aliens have put more emphasis on their technology. And one thing everybody should question: if these aliens came without those ships, would people, those so-called ufologists, people they visit, they won't listen to them now. So it's the ships that make them listen to them. Which bring about are the ships a tool to deceive mankind? Since mankind basically worships those ships basically were in awe. We're not really in awe of the aliens. We're in awe of their technology. So basically, we're basically worshipping their technology, and their technology is what makes us think they're superior and what gives us an ear to listen to them. It's no different from in Africa where the man buys a Bugatti and everybody now begins to fall over him because he has a Bugatti. They don't care about the man. It's the Bugatti, and this Bugatti was made by human beings. So you have human beings worshipping the Bugatti and worshipping the man that has the Bugatti. So you now have ufologists and some so-called scientific experts worshipping aliens, because basically it's worship. They're glorifying aliens above humans. Are we supposed to roll over because these aliens have more advanced ships? Or should I take it from or should I quote Alexander McDaniels from the New York Knicks, who says because the Chicago Bulls are world champions, are we just a roll over for them? Of course, we're not supposed to roll over. When really scientists talk, we're supposed to roll over, get on our knees, and begin to bow down to aliens. That's the underlying thing, because they talk so much of aliens, what the aliens say, as if the aliens cannot lie. As if the aliens, where do they know these aliens from? How long have they spent with these aliens to know whether these aliens are trying to bamboozle the world or make us to be weak? There's a part in the Bible where they're about to take, when the Jews are about to take over the promised land, some spies say we're like grasshoppers in their sight. And those kind of messages make people weak. Whereas the other person said we can take them. So you can't just, as a human being, you can't be saying aliens are superior to us, because are you trying to weaken us to the aliens' advantage? Are you trying to weaken us? Because basically, if you're whose side are you? Are you on the side of the aliens? You've been so enamored with the aliens that you think the aliens are better than us, superior to us. But where do you know these aliens from? Have you lived with these aliens? Have you been to where they live? You haven't. So it's what they present to you as a ufologist. You're trying to present to us. And what if aliens are presenting us with lies? This whole alien thing could just be a way of twisting the way the world thinks, or manipulating the world. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it could be. It could be. In life, you present. You don't just take one side. You even generate more sides. Make sure you're not bamboozled. You never enter the realm of encounter based on somebody's experience. You look at your own experience. You look at, could this be another experience? Now, a lot of people talk of these aliens being reptilian, looking like reptiles. Being 3 feet tall. So if you're converse with Judaism or Christianity, you find out in those books there was a reptile, a snake that deceived mankind, deceived the first man. As if you believe Judaism and Christianity, that deceived or offset the minds of early man to believe in a different way. It was a snake, it was a reptile. So if you're talking of reptilians, you have to understand, according to Judaism and Christianity, we've been bamboozled by reptiles in the past. Reptiles change their thinking, and our thinking threw us off balance. Like everybody knows, if you think wrongly, you're going to get wrong results. So that's just my own take. My own take is there's so much out there. There's spiritual forces, there are metaphysical forces, there are ghosts that haunt houses. So nobody should lose sleep over UFOs or aliens, because there's so much out there we don't even know. And Jesus talks of principalities and powers, rulers of darkness, eternity. They've embraced that there's so much long ago. All this new wave of the unseen world that has all been embraced for 5,000 years to 2,000 years. So people need to just be more objective and not just take things on surface value. Because you see something is 6,000 years old or 10,000 years old, you run with it. It could be 10,000 years of disinformation, a 10,000 years old lie. If someone could have lied 100,000 years ago to tell us human beings are genetically modified, you don't just carry it on your head because it's old. It could be an old lie. So that's why I am on aliens. People just need to have a wider spectrum of human experience, a wider spectrum. We live in a world of discrimination, of narrow-mindedness, of human men who are sexist, spewing out sexist views on the internet as if men are perfect, disabusing women as if men are perfect. You have racists who go around spewing racial views as if there's a perfect race anywhere. So that all that happens when people are myopic. When people just have myopic, one-sided views, who can just think out of the box, or who can think out of the narrative or the narrative they've been told. So it's a general thing. I don't think any aliens are going to collapse any religion. People who think that are narrow-minded, because some people might even become more religious if aliens show up. I just become more religious, thinking that these things have been foretold in their religious books. So that's why I am.